I'm James O'Reilly, a tillage farmer based in Kilkenny, predominantly a winter cereal farm, growing winter barley, followed by oilseed rape, a first wheat, followed by a winter or spring oat, and then a first wheat again, and then we start the rotation back to barley, so it's a 5-year rotation. Did a deal in with Michael Early's in Kilkenny for the Amazon Trail spreader. Got a demo of it the previous spring, and I liked its ease of setting up. I liked the app that guided you in the right direction to put you in the right settings. Look, dealer backup is important, and I have to say with Michael Early inside Kilkenny, their dealer backup with Nicholas Maher is excellent. You can have the best machine in the world, if you don't have the backup, it's not much good to me, because if you run into a problem, that's where it matters. And I'm not saying, and the problem is probably operator error, i.e. me or Ross or whatever. As I often say, the loose nut behind the steering wheel is often as big a problem as the machine, but you still need to be able to talk to somebody to sort that out. So that was a massive influence on buying the machine. As a trailed machine, its centre of gravity is very, very good. If you notice at the hopper, it's actually leaning forward and down, so it's trying to keep the weight down onto the drawbar. The beauty of this machine is, even though I'm saying to you that we're getting 100% overlap, and I think the more of an overlap you can get, say go down the field, we're going like that, and then when you're the next tramline over, we're overlapping again, ensures that you're getting a much better spread pattern. But in order to do that, with some spreaders, you have to have quite a high disc speed, and then as the grain is hitting the disc, it can crush the grain. With the Amazon spreader there, whatever way the discs are designed, and whatever way the drop point is designed, our disc speeds are not massive. They're at 600 to 700 RPM, which is quite low, and we're still getting fertiliser. We're still able to throw fertiliser from one tramline to actually hit the tracks of the 30 metres away in the next tramline. So we're getting a massive overlap without crushing grains. I think Amazon call it SBS, or they have some lovely terminology on it. I'm just telling you it works. The fertiliser hits the disc and it doesn't get crushed, and it's able to throw it. It is only a fertiliser spreader, while some of the other trail spreaders out there are trying to be bulk lime spreaders and fertiliser spreaders. But a bulk lime spreader is fine for a product that's costing 17 or 18 euro a tonne, and that's fine, but don't expect a bulk spreader to give you, a bulk lime spreader to give you the same accuracy as a purpose-built fertiliser spreader. And they may claim they have section control, they don't. They have on and off. Well, that is a section, but it's one section. And then they'll try to tell you about coefficients of this and that and the other, and it doesn't really matter. Well, if it doesn't really matter, then put it on your machine, would be my argument. It does matter. Our usage rate of fertiliser has dropped by an average across the board 4 or 5% since we got proper GPS with proper section control, where the spreading pattern is narrowing as you go into a garrogue or into short ground. And it's not just painting a pretty picture on a GPS screen telling you it's doing that, it is actually doing that. And therefore then you won't either have over-fertilised and have potentially lodged crops, or under-fertilised and have reduced yield in those garrogues. To get through work, it's great. The steering axle on it is a lovely feature. The fact that because we have enough oil flow capacity in the tractors that we would pull the machine with, we don't need a PTO or an auxiliary hydraulic PTO. Spread width, I'd have no issue with that spreader even spreading up to 36 metres. But in a calm day, you could spread it 24 kilometres an hour up and down the field. Output-wise, look, again, it depends on the rate you're spreading, and depends on the distance of the draw will dictate how much work you're doing. But look, we'll spread anywhere from 30 to 70 tonne in a day, depending on the length of the draw and the rate of product. The technology has improved, and their ability to drop fertiliser to the edge of the hedge has greatly improved. And that's important, because look, the biggest round of any field is the round by the ditch. The average area of any headland is up to 20%. So 20% of most farmers' farms are headlands. And if you haven't got that right, that's a lot of area that's not right. Or a lot of area that you've been wasting product on. Or a lot of area you've been sacrificing yield on. Now you couple that in with the cost of fertiliser at approximately 700-800 euro a tonne. Well, now it's really getting serious that every grain that you apply needs to be working for you. Look, I like the user-friendliness of it. There's nice little features, like when you're loading the machine, you tell it you want to put in 9 tonne, 10 tonne, 11 tonne, or you tell it, I want to spread 35 hectares, and it knows it's the rate you're spreading at. When you fill the machine, then it'll start flashing the lights as you're getting to the last quarter of a tonne, and then when you're full or above that weight, the lights stay constantly on. It's a nice little feature. The build quality is good. The paintwork is good, which is important in a spreader, because obviously we're dealing with quite a corrosive product. She's relatively easy to clean down at the end of the season. There's there's not a massive amount of maintenance in her, and I'd be very happy to recommend the Amazon Trail Spreader to anybody. Yeah.